If you have ADHD and have struggled with friendship and popularity, this video is for you, from my heart to yours. As someone who was completely invisible as an Iranian immigrant at the age of 14, I transferred to someone who was constantly invited to parties and was actually popular among people. I know a thing or two to share with you guys in this video. I remember the days I used to overthink, share too much, share too little, interrupt people while they were talking, or say things that I regretted afterwards. I remember the pain, so I wanted to make this video for all of you guys, and hopefully this will be helpful on your journey. I also did some research, read some books, and it reflected on what I'd done in the past, and I came up with 10 rules to follow every time you meet new people. And I promise if you can apply some of these, you will notice a huge transformation on your social dynamics, no matter who you are, what age you are, and where you live. Let's just get started. Before we kick off this video, I just wanted to throw it out there that getting popular and making friends takes a bit of an effort. Going on this path is not always the healthiest or the quickest thing to do, but hey, if you are thinking that you don't want to put this much effort, hear me out. Experience the whole popular vibe, and having a bunch of friends, even if it's just for a little bit, is kind of necessary in your life and your growth. Why do I say that? I think it is very important that you know in your heart that you have the confidence and the skills to make a lot of friends and to be popular. Because if you don't know that about yourself, you will always be that shy, timid person who resents people who are popular and well-liked. And we don't want that. This will reflect on your intimate relationships, your work and business, and so on. So I would say invest a year or two in your life to prove to yourself that you can be that social butterfly. And you never know, this might lead to long-lasting friendships or skills that you could use in work and life in general. And after you got the confidence to socialize and make friends easily, then you can decide to make a break and focus on yourself and put the life of popularity behind you. Believe it or not, most people are pretty chill and they also want to be your friend too. We just have to find out how to navigate them. Making friends is not as easy or as tricky as it might sound. So the tips in this video is going to hit you with some surprises. Stay tuned and take notes. Be yourself, be genuine. And I know it sounds simple and cliche, but let me explain this. This is very important. A lot of people read books and watch videos like this, and they try to apply these tips when they interact with others, but they come off as ingenuine instead, and it pisses people off. You have to remember, people hear your words, but everyone can sense your vibe. In order for you to attract people, you must be yourself, and you must be putting out positive energy towards them. Yourself is not trying to put an image for others to like them. Yourself is not trying to make sure that you don't sound or look a certain way to people. Yourself is not worried about how it comes off to others, as long as you're polite, right? Yourself just is simply yourself. The trick to being like is completely shutting off your thoughts when you're interacting with people. Thoughts like, what will they think of me if I did this? Or for example, I don't want her to think I'm this way, or I look this way, or I think this way. Or you have identities that you're trying to keep up, like I'm classy or I'm fun. You're trying to push through these identities and images. It can put people off. Because like it or not, they can tell if you're trying to be someone you're not, or you're being genuine. They sense that you're putting up an image, and naturally they tend not to trust your vibe. And I want to give you an example about being genuine. For example, you could be saying all the right words, but this person is going to laugh out loud. But to yourself, you're going to think that, oh, this person's very obnoxious. This person can sense that. When you're talking to someone, you have to shut off those thoughts. You can't be forming an opinion about them, especially if they're negative. So you got to actually make sure that you're very open-minded and accepting of others. So basically, if you practice not to be judgmental and easygoing with people, they feel very comfortable and attracted to you because they can sense that you don't have a lot of opinions about them and other people, which is a beautiful thing. And the plus side of all of this is that when you judge less, you're shutting off those negative thoughts, and you as a person get to act like yourself without the fear of other people judging you. I hope this makes sense. If it does, make sure you drop a heart in the comment. Number 2, which follows the first rule, is that you are not going to make everyone like you, and that's okay. There will be so many people that won't like your style, but there will be so many that will do. Sometimes it sucks because the ones that we like are not gonna like us back, but there's not much we can do about it. The key is to be able to recognize who's not vibing with us and be able to move on from them. The truth is that the number of people that will vibe with you are gonna be small, but if you want to make a lot of friends and vibe with a lot of people, we gotta follow the rest of the rules in the video. Number 3 is expectations. In friendships and relationships, we must notice that having expectations can ruin everything. Thoughts like, I called them once, or I invited them to this and they never invited me to that. I'm not saying be that annoying person who keeps calling people and invites everyone to everything and never gets invited and no one ever notices. You have to be able to sense the vibe and remove yourself from circles when you're not appreciated. But if you have friendships of trust with someone, you should never count how many times you did something for someone. In friendships, people have roles. It's beautiful. Someone always plans, someone always supportive, someone is loving, someone's kind, someone's thoughtful. Someone might always forget including you in some things, but you know that they love you. If you want to keep their friendships, then you should be cool with things like that, and that will get you a lot of friends. Let me give you an example. You could have a great friend, but they're a bad texter. You always feel like you're the one who's texting and making plans, and when you meet, you guys are great. You have a lot of fun together, which is amazing. One day you can say to yourself, why should I always be the one that's texting and planning? But as soon as you start feeding that thought, you will notice that you're walking towards ending that friendship. So you're gonna lose a friend. Remember, accepting and loving people the way they are, as long as your relationship is healthy with them and it's working, is key in having long-lasting friendships. Number 4, interest. Listening skills when you're interacting with people is very important. As people with ADHD, we tend to interrupt conversations a lot and making everything about ourselves. That's not good. This is very important because it can be detrimental to any friendship or relationship. So listen up. One thing we need to learn, and something that I had to learn the hard way, is to shut up most of the time and listen to what people have to say. After all, this is exactly what people want. I mean, isn't that what you want? People want to be heard and agreed with. This is a skill that you have to practice. It sometimes becomes hard because if you're closer to someone and you want them to hear your opinion and you want to let them know about something, but if you want to be popular with people, you have to make sure you listen, you agree, you nod and agree. That's it. There is a key to this. I realize that I'm personally very genuinely interested in what people have to say about themselves, their journey, family and relationships, vacation, whatever it is. And I notice when I'm genuinely interested in people, I will remember what they have shared with me as well. So when we talk at a later date, making references to our earlier conversations and making them feel heard is become very natural to me. But how do we develop this skill? This is not something that you can just apply right away, especially if you have ADHD. It's a skill that you have to develop over time. In order to be able to do this, you have to learn to enter conversations when you're calm and meditative. It gives us control on what we say and what we don't. For example, you shouldn't be drinking coffee or doing activities that rises your heart rate when you're trying to enter a conversation or you're trying to go to a social gathering. You have to make sure you're in a very good headspace. I recommend meditation in all of my videos, and trust me, it becomes very handy when you're socializing with people. My next point was going to be thoughtfulness, but when I thought about it, I realized that some people like it, but some people find it creepy. So it's very important to be able to read the person you're interacting with and see what they're like. What do they value in friendships and relationships? Us with ADHD, we tend to be more sensitive, so we can be masters of this. We can figure out how people react to the things that we say, and we can use this superpower not as to analyze people, but as a tool to help us become closer to people. You could read them and see what they value and apply it when you interact with them. This takes me to my next point, is analyzing people. If you're smart and you have ADHD, you must be very good at overthinking and analyzing everything everyone is doing. We can be like crazy psychologists who break people down into little pieces, label them and put them in a box. This is the opposite of what you should be doing if you want to be popular. The more you get into your head about people, the further it will drive you from them. You must realize even the closest people to you can be broken down to pieces, and you might not like all of those pieces, but we ignore all of those ugly pieces. It's very easy to sit down and analyze why people acted or said what they said. But trust me, this is not the way to think. You must realize people are complex. They act differently depending on their mood and what they had for breakfast. So we can't really judge them. I mean, think of yourself. How many times have you acted out of character or said things that you wish you didn't say to people that are close to you probably, and they forgave you afterwards, right? How many times did you wish you could start over again with some people or fix a bad characteristic about yourself? Your friends and people around you are just like you. If you find yourself sitting on your bed and thinking and analyzing someone's behavior, always stop yourself. Don't overhype them and make an angel out of people, but you don't want to make them into devils either. Just let them be and just be cool. Being cool is one of the hardest things, I'm going to be honest with you, I had to achieve in my life. It used to bother me when someone was late or they canceled last minute or they forgot my birthday. These things really used to get under my skin when I was a lot younger. I had to overcome these things, especially if people that are not that so close to us. You have to realize people have their own lives. They have, other things going on in their lives, and they're not here to cater to you 24/7. When you're cool, it might be hard on you emotionally in the beginning, but it will attract people to you. And because when you see that positive response, you learn to be cool more often and just let things go easily. If you go down the hole and say, I deserve this and she should have done this for me, and all of these expectations, as we talked about before, it will turn any friendship or relationship toxic. Anytime you get these thoughts, you just tell yourself, be cool. Be bothered, that's fine, but don't show that to other person because this creates friction. You don't want to create that. This is just to be popular and have friends. You know what I mean? This is characteristic of people who have achieved that. If you're focusing on self-love and healing and creating boundaries for yourself, I would give you a different advice. But this is just strictly to become more popular, to be cool. Okay, nobody likes a person who's always just tagging along. Make plans, and if you are with people, be 100% involved. Don't be on your phone. Don't be distracted. People like those people who give everything 100% and live their life to the fullest. Don't avoid life, and always keep yourself and spirit very high. This doesn't mean to be perfect, obviously, all the time, right? Let me explain what that means. The secret is that keeping yourself and your mind well is the key of attracting others. People can smell a healthy mind and a healthy person. If you're eating healthy, exercising, and meditating, and most importantly, not letting these activities making you feel better than other people around you, and it's not boosting your ego, then have no doubt that people are going to be drawn to you no matter what. And as I said, this absolutely doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. We love seeing flaws in other people. That's what attracts us to them. So you have to have flaws. It doesn't mean that you have to always act perfect. Be yourself, be genuine, but just keep yourself well and healthy. Number 9 is being interesting and confident. This one is absolutely the hardest one of all, especially for me. You have to have a thing, be confident about your thing, but not sound like a know-it-all person, because nobody likes a know-it-all person, right? I, for example, know a lot about diet and nutrition, and a lot of people love that about me, but believe it or not, I never share my opinion when people talk about these things. So only when I'm asked that I speak very confidently and share what I know, but if I'm not asked, I just keep quiet and listen, and sometimes I learn things from other people when they share it with me. So it doesn't mean that I know everything, but I'm just also very confident in the things that I know. It's very important to keep this balance when you're interacting with people. My last tip is to show genuine interest in everyone. I personally genuinely really like people, and I feel like they sense that. I'm very interested in people. It's very rare for me to meet someone and not immediately like them and be interested in them. I want to ask them questions and get to know them, and I think they sense it and they really like it. I've never used sentences like, I don't relate to this person, or she's so different. I promise you could genuinely always find a common ground with everyone. Whether they're a stripper or they have 3 PhDs, you can always find a way to connect with them. And I truly think everyone can be like this if they don't take themselves so seriously and show genuine interest in people. I hope these tips and my experience have been helpful for you guys. If you have any tips that helps you with making friends, please comment them below. We would love to hear from you, and the community loves to hear your words. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, following, subscribing. Love you all. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.